Feral Audio.
Welcome to another episode of The Adventures of Danny and Mike, wherein the fellows discuss funny money, hot Norwegians, and state quarters, with special guest Krystyna Hutchinson of Guys We Fucked. Now play the music, Blarty.
You guys ever done radio interviews? Like where they'd be like, "Oh, so what's it like?" And they just ask you the dumbest questions.
Yes.
Yes.
I've now, because we're current comedians, we give them, we're like, that question is dumb. We just say it.
Don't say
We don't
it.
care.
You don't even riff on the question?
Well, sometimes we will. It depends on what the question is, but if we can kind of make fun of them without them knowing, that's always the best.
What's it like?
What?
So you guys
What's
are
what like?
Being a lady?
you guys
lady.
You guys have a great, podcast about some bold sexual tones. What's it like?
It's interesting. You hear from people we hear from hundreds of people every day in our inbox, and I love reading the emails because they're very personal, very specific, and they range from like the darkest thing you could possibly think of to the most hilarious, like, oh, my cat clawed my balls while I was banging this girl and she thinks it was her. Whatever the story is, it's very.
You've already betrayed a confidence.
In the cat's defense.
Oh, I don't care.
In the cat's defense, I could see that happening.
You always take the cat's side.
How were your balls dangling at a rate that
Were they
seemed appealing?
dangling? Were they hairy enough that
There's a lot of
could have
details.
been it could have been a ball of yarn? Who knows?
Exactly.
Could have been a beige ball of yarn.
Yes, a pink.
Or
Who has
pink.
beige balls?
I don't know.
Let's see them.
Do you?
I guess I have beige balls.
Welcome to the
Anywho.
adventures of the show.
Before we get to the beige balls, welcome to the Adventures of Danny and Mike. To my right, Mr. Danny Tamborelli. All is well in the world again. He's on my right.
Yes, hi.
And to his right, Mr. Michael C. Morona.
Hello.
And I am Jeremy. And our guest for the entire hour, Miss Krystyna Hutchinson. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm happy to be here.
From the of another feral family member.
Oh, we're not on Feral.
You're not on feral?
No.
Told you.
Okay,
Let's
cancel.
We're on our
Yes.
living room.
Jeez.
We're not on a network.
Let's go with.
That's called 100% DIY.
Yeah, bitch.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of street cred.
Isn't this fancy? But it's something.
I know. I know.
Jeremy put a lot of his pre-podcast prep into the table and not into researching what podcast network you're on.
That's true. I for some reason, I go on long trips, and I've listened to your podcast several times. And when I go on trips, I'll listen to just a bunch of different ones just to get ideas. And for whatever reason, I thought I did a feral block, and you were in there. But
Oh, did someone put a Feral audio soundbite in our fucking...
I doubt it. I might.
Wow.
I've
That's just like them.
I've drank a lot of wine between then and now. So
Whoa.
yeah, just
Is wine
blame
what
my
really
memory.
makes your brain?
Wine under the bridge, am I right?
The PG version is yes. That's what's going on here.
We're lucky enough to have Krystyna here in the studio with us.
I'm lucky enough to be here. What are you talking about?
And
Come on. It's not that lucky to come to Park Slope.
Yeah, there are really not a lot of women come into Jeremy's apartment, so this is, let's be
Right.
honest.
Well,
I mean, if I have time to make this payroll, for Christ's sakes, you know what I mean? I don't have time to have women coming
you're
in and
not
out
getting
of
your
here.
dick wet. Yeah. You're making this table.
Growing a Nick Offerman-style mustache and woodworking in his spare time.
If only I could grow the
Nick Offerman.
Oh,
I'm sure they sell that like spray in a can.
Oh, I have the stick-on ones.
Chia mustache.
Yeah, I have some stick-on. I have a whole bag of prop mustaches.
It's a bunch of dead caterpillars in Africa that we send over here. Just put
Prop mustaches.
And I like put it on between my eyebrows. And he's like,
he doesn't know. He's like,
He leave these eyebrows.
You got money for prop mustaches, eh?
A new feature to the pod studio, speaking of the table, is we have lights on the ceiling, so the guests gets to pick the color. No pressure. You can pick.
No,
whatever
I
you want.
heard.
It's
yeah.
already happened. If you
for the
don't
listener.
realize
It
that
turned
it's already
green.
changed.
I was going to do it on the air.
For the listener,
By air, I mean.
the color of our LEDs, as picked by our guest, is the color of a mason jar full of Mountain Dew held over an old TV.
Or money.
Wow.
Or money.
Or money.
Yeah.
I was going with money, but yeah.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
Scorsese, sure.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're a Mayweather fan then too?
Well, no, I didn't really give a shit, but then everyone was talking about it, so I was like, I guess I'll go watch the fight. And then I was like, oh, I learned that the one Mayweather beat his wife, so I was like, I guess I want the other guy to win. I don't fucking care.
But then he's kind of a racist, so it's like...
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I thought everyone was... Oh, okay. Well,
I wanted a plane to hit the arena.
rumors.
That's what I wanted.
who's worse, a racist or a wife beater?
Yeah, that's a rough one.
I mean...
Well,
we'll
depends.
have
I mean, it's all about, I guess, physical violence. I would think more.
Yeah.
Because people can just be racist and be assholes, and you can
Quietly,
you can quietly be racist.
No, well, there's a lot of First Amendment
Can't
arguments
quietly
to be
beat
made.
your wife.
If you put tape over her mouth, you can.
Oh man.
Dark humor? No.
I feel like we have to go to the Magic 8 Ball to figure
Dan,
this
I am hearing your cholesterol giggles in that
Whoa,
Cholesterol
giggles? Okay.
from our
for the record,
recent review of our podcast said that they can hear, what is it, 20 years of
Not
cigarettes and cholesterol
Cigarettes and cholesterol in my
What's wrong
voice.
with that?
in Danny's voice.
That's good. You are who you are.
That makes Tom
Right.
Waits sexy as hell.
Oh my God, that motherfucker's voice.
Am I right?
Yeah, his voice is sexy as hell,
just
but
get-
his persona annoys the shit out of me.
Wow.
That's
Learn
true.
some
I can't.
things.
Learn some
Look.
things.
Tom Waits is a great songwriter. I like it, but like he plays the weirdo card too much, and I feel like I
Agreed.
can see through it.
Shortcuts.
And
Robert Altman.
I get tired of it.
It's almost like a hacky kind of go-to.
I know you're smoking a cigarette. Funny.
It's like, all right, we get it.
Yeah, we get it.
Right,
We get
like,
it.
but he has kids. He has kids who are
He should make a lullaby
somewhat
album
grown.
for kids.
Yeah, that's not
I'm
a
saying,
bad idea.
what do those kids feel like being lulled to sleep by that scarecrow with a Kent dangling from his lips over the cradle? You know what I mean?
Good night, Moon.
There's a hook. There's a
Give a
hook.
mouse a cookie.
There's a hooker in Minneapolis who's freezing to death. Stay warm, kid, 'cause it's cold out there.
He would be have the darkest parenting style
Oh,
to
my
match his
God.
voice.
Right?
Werner Herzog is probably like the shittiest babysitter, but Tom Waits would probably be the scariest dad. We have to know. We know somebody who knows Tom Waits in L.A. because he brings his kids to a school in that area. You got to know someone.
Yeah.
Someone.
Somebody.
One of those $1 billion. Once in a while, we'll have these $1 billion ideas on the podcast, so that might be one that we actually try.
Thing
to
is,
pull
none
off.
of us are billionaires, so I'm not really sure.
Oh, you guys aren't?
No,
Sorry.
I know,
the
right?
ideas
I know.
they haven't worked
looking
out
around,
yet.
you could be like,
We've been
"Oh."
trying to work on your version of the podcast of getting all that money. So
yeah.
You know,
We did it free for most of the. I have had negative $10 in my bank account up until a year ago, my whole life. So I'm like, oh my God, I can take a cab. I'm a millionaire. Small luxuries.
small things in life. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I'm glad I was broke off my ass for so long because now I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
But you
won't
guys have always been
squander it.
rich, right?
Oh yeah, because Nickelodeon is Nickelodeon for a reason. Wasn't
Dimelodian.
Dimelodian would have been worse.
Quarter-lodian?
No, Dimelodian would have been better.
I got two.
10 is better than 5.
I got 2 Susan B. Anthony dollars as change yesterday at the store. I'm keeping that shit.
That's, wow, what a unique, rare moment.
For the
For the
listener,
listener.
another great audio moment. Mike is pulling out change.
And
And Susan.
She worked so hard to be on a coin that rarely people use.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a flattering picture of her, but whatever. It's cool. This is the only woman that we got on
for now,
on coins right
On
now.
coins.
Currently.
You know,
No, you got Pocahontas on the
Sacagawea.
Jeez Louise, bro.
Dun,
See, you
dun,
can be quietly
dun.
racist and not be a wife beater.
I don't.
Yeah, you did prove that point. You're right. You're right. I forgot there were women on our money, but it's like it's the money no one really takes seriously. So
Yeah.
But now that I've been traveling, fucking Mexico they all have chicks on their money.
Yeah.
They got Frida Kahlo on their money.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's
Come on.
badass because like she wasn't involved. She wasn't a politician or a leader formally, and I was like, that's pretty cool. You just admire her thoughts.
Hey, I think other countries do have some more fun with the people that they put on their money. They have like Nobel laureates and whatever.
Yeah, we don't get any of that bullshit.
What, you don't travel?
Presidents and presidents.
No, I'm
only.
saying just our currency as
Yeah.
such. They only make weird ones so you can sell them off to those nerds that collect coins.
Yeah. Did you have those when they started doing the states and the quarter?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I had all of them.
Did you buy the set? Or did you
No,
collect
I
them
collected
all?
them
Yeah.
in Naturally in the World, like a
Yep.
G.
Yeah. And there was one that was
Oh, you
very
didn't have
hard
the,
to
you
find.
didn't have the
I'm sure.
cardboard thing?
I did have the cardboard thing, but I got it empty because I was like, I'm going to
Right,
earn
you're
these.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
do
fill
it,
this, yeah.
and you get close, but you can never. It's like the lottery. You
Yeah,
know? They know they got you.
No,
I
no.
do play the lottery,
I would
though.
go to LaGuardia and try and make friends. Hey, did you just fly in from Hawaii? Got
Got change for a
They
dollar?
were-
Got any quarter?
No, I got plenty in North Dakota and South Dakota quarters that had that on the, and I had never been there. So
Do they originate in the actual state, and that's where is that?
no,
what
but
the
that's
deal
what
is?
Michael would like us to believe.
Oh,
in his
okay.
previous
I would have easily
statement.
believed that.
I think we have.
Oh,
I
I
think,
see
someone
his
else
theme
has fallen
here.
under my spell.
That's
I think
very
we have.
naive.
I think we have like 8 mints, federal, like big ass mints in the U.S. Something like
big
that. It's like
ass mints.
San Fran, Denver, Fort Worth, something like
That's
that.
the new trap song for next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Big ass
Just
mints.
this like ass bouncing
Eight
down
trap
slowly with
mints.
quarters.
Eight
Well, in
trap
was it in Canada or no London? The pound is a coin
Yeah.
in London, and I'm like, because I love going to strip clubs. I'm like,
It's
you
not
don't
the same.
throw coins
I'm
at
not
them,
gonna-
right?
yeah, I'm
Like,
not
that's
gonna tuck-
rude.
I'm not
Can't
going to
chuck
tuck
a coin
that.
at a bitch.
I'm not
Right, well,
going
that's
to
the
tuck that in the
loonies
thong.
in Canada too. It's the same.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It's the dollar coins. Like,
So you're saying that strippers had a lot of bruises in Canada because of the loonies?
I mean, it's possible.
Or they are paid
It's possible.
living
Or,
wage.
or
Right. That I forget that countries treat people better.
And they don't
other
need
way.
to have money.
Or there's a
thrown at
different
them.
set of rules for sitting around the table. Maybe every 5 times you
You just
throw a
go-
5 spot down. You know.
Or you do a swipe. They just have a
Oh
little
yeah.
square.
You know what? You don't have to
brag.
throw it.
Yeah.
That's
Take
right.
these coins and put them in
And
your
you
pouch.
They have a square reader on their
Unzip that
would-
that fanny pack.
That's a
and
You know
put
when
great
those
people
idea.
like
coins
go
away.
through a crowd and like high five everybody? That'd be great if you took your square reader and like everyone put their cards out, stripes up.
Choo.
But where would it be? Like
You're all
creative-
in. You're all in for $275.
Yes, don't even tell
Yeah,
me.
you know, yeah.
There should be creative like
Cover
places, like that each stripper has to have this mounted on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or they have it sticking out of them.
That's what.
That's what I'm. I mean, it could be an old school
That's
credit
what
card swipe.
Gabe,
you know
who-
the game where you
Oh, yeah.
stick your hand
Yeah,
up somebody's
uh-huh.
butt.
Gabe, who I worked with.
What?
was-
Credit card swipe.
What do you mean? What?
You've never.
Wait.
There's a game.
Yeah, I've never played that
game?
fucking game.
As a kid,
It doesn't sound like a game. It sounds,
Oh, I
it
had
sounds
some-
completely non-consensual.
it is not.
It is not consensual.
It is not. The game was you would go behind someone with your hand, and for the listener, I'm making a
sort of a
open
knife
A
edge.
Hitler hail.
Sort of a knife. It's sort of a knife edge.
but sideways, very important.
Karate
and then you go
chop.
up behind them and
Yeah.
you'd
All right,
swipe
that's
up
better.
their butt crack, and that would be a credit card.
Why up?
So they have to be naked, no underwear.
No, fully clothed. This is a children's game.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We used
this
to
is
play a
not-
game called when I was a kid called Smear the Queer. That's not a good
That's
title
not- you
for
can't do
anybody.
that. You can't
Someone
play that
throws a
game now.
football, whoever catches it, you just beat them up.
Right. right.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Virginia for 10 years,
Okay.
and then I was from Pennsylvania and moved back to Pennsylvania later. But Virginia was most of the adolescence.
The formative time.
Yeah.
How far from the DC were you?
I lived in Chesapeake, so I was
Okay.
like 12 miles north of North Carolina.
A lot of
That was the
runoff.
Navy.
A lot of runoff.
Wow. I like North Carolina, other than a few speed bumps here and there. Racism.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait, you ran over Asian people?
No.
I think
I didn't get it.
is he implying that racism is one of the large speed bumps
In the state of North Carolina.
stopping you from getting through the state? Or
No.
what are you getting at?
I'm not going to elaborate on.
We don't want to
joke.
lose North Carolina because they
already lost them.
They are a large
they've-
part of our listening
It's
population.
a little late.
Go Tar Heels? Question mark.
I've been in North Carolina. A bunch.
Go
I like
Superchunk.
Is that
right.
true? Yeah.
UNC. I visited.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah, it's
a beautiful
really
spot,
UNC is
yeah.
a great campus. That's
that
all I know.
Savannah?
My
Where
mom
is
used to
that?
drive. No, North Chapel Hill.
Okay.
North Carolina.
Oh, that
My
makes
mom
sense.
used to drive there to get cheap cigarettes when we lived in Virginia. She'd
Yeah.
go to North Carolina.
It's a
They're
destination.
But it's like a
very
dollar
cheap cigarettes
cheaper
there.
or something.
But it's
How
still
much gas did?
Right, but gas was pretty cheap then. So
we
that was-
were 10-minute, 12-minute drive from North Carolina. We were very close.
then you definitely make that pilgrimage.
It's not like going
Over
to
the state
Delaware
line.
for cheap cigarettes or something.
No.
It's not like going far.
But if you want to go to Delaware for anything cheap, it's just your corporation.
Oh,
There's
It's
no
to
corporate tax.
it's to sign papers.
I started my corporation here. That was fucking dumb,
Yeah,
right?
bad
but
idea.
my tax guy was the one who said to do it. But I'm like, my dad was like, dude, why didn't you fucking put your corporation somewhere else where you don't have to pay? I'm like,
Delaware.
Shit. But I do live in New York City and I use the services, so I do feel some sort of obligation to pay the taxes. But then my dad...
I think it's cool you have a corporation.
Oh, it was an LLC or whatever, but S Corp or I don't...
I'm pretty sure it
still
ends...
don't know what
I'm pretty
it is.
sure it ends with C and
still don't
stands
know
for
what it
corporation.
is.
Sure. I don't know. I really don't know.
But you have it.
Yeah.
And your tax guy said it was the thing to do.
Yeah, but he set it up in New York, but it would have been so much cheaper to put it elsewhere because we have a city tax here, which is very rare.
You could put it in the Isle of Jersey.
City tax always makes me feel a little bit worse when I see my check. I go,
I know. Well, I don't have anything taken out, so I have to pay the taxes out of. So I'm like, oh, this is all my money.
Oh, right. No,
it's
you're
not.
the right.
I'd like
'cause
to
you're
have the
corporate-
ability to do that.
You're the corporate owner as well. Yes.
So we get paid in full, and then you got to pay the
That was a
government
good movie.
out.
Paid in
It's a good
full.
album too. Eric B. Rakim.
Yeah,
Paid in
come
full.
on. No,
Don't get any of the references. I'm sorry.
Not a hip hop.
I'm old. I'm super old. So that was a
yeah,
90s.
How old are you?
We're on the other side of 40 over here. I'm
Really?
stuck in the middle. Yeah,
I'm
not.
I'm 42.
Please.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
And
He's,
you're 40?
He's
No way.
Pushing it. Pushing
be there.
forward.
Jesus,
He'll
you
be
guys
there
are very
real
young.
soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it would still work in a bar.
Yeah, you could hit on a 21-year-old and it wouldn't be. It wouldn't look weird.
It would look weird as hell.
It would feel weird to you because you know how old you are.
Right.
See, this is the whole thing
But
I've been
if-
struggling with.
10 feet apart.
You look very young.
8 feet
Yeah.
apart. 6 feet apart. 3 feet apart. I would tell that he is.
Now you can see the bead of sweat right here on Danny.
Do you
It's hot
guys
in here.
get recognized a lot?
Yes.
Hey, you're 39.
I sometimes.
Just getting recognized as being 39.
They
that's
blow,
it.
they blow me
Hey,
up
look at
on
that
the spot.
39-year-old,
Yeah, they blow up on
almost
the
40.
spot.
Do people
Bro.
freak out?
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There's.
Do you ever
there's
like
some
walk down the street
freakouts.
together?
Sometimes we do, and sometimes people freak out.
I fucking freak out.
like
I'd be
the
like,
monkeys.
no way.
Yeah, But now, instead of like everybody running around the block, there's like 4.
Okay, well that's cool.
You know,
in
I'll take 4
Austin-
people.
When we were together in Austin, didn't something happen? We were just walking down the block. People were very cool about it. They were not uptight.
No, they were very cool about
When
it.
we were walking around during the television festival.
Oh yeah, we did this ATX festival in Austin, which was very fun.
And we
And
went
we gave out ice cream and
we
stuff
went as
out of
ourselves.
a tasty mobile sort of thing.
That's
so
great.
yeah, it
Well,
was
I will
pretty
say-
cool. I don't mean to brag about it, but you know.
A lot of my Virginia years was spent watching television because like my mom was super bipolar and going off the rails.
I'm going to get cigarettes. Stay inside and watch TV.
Well, she would just smoke the cigarettes. Well, yeah, she would do that. But that P&P was one of like the shows that I was just obsessed with, and like it transformed me into another world where there was no bipolar and everyone was just trying to
Everyone
get
was
through
just
life.
Very strange and weird.
And all that made me want to do sketch comedy, and that I mean, the Nickelodeon specifically for me, those years was my life, and it kind of saved me from being sad.
I'll drink to that.
That's very nice to hear. Yeah, that's
Pretty nice.
It's a weird.
Do you really
it's a
give a
weird
shit,
time.
though?
No, we totally do. I mean, I totally do. I can't speak for myself.
The whole time I've been like looking at him. Being,
Yeah, he's like,
We
stop,
probably
stop
are so-
talking about
I
it.
don't.
Stop
No, I don't.
talking about
Not
it.
at
I'm
all.
sure I would be annoyed hearing that the
Why-
same thing.
why?
For,
No, you don't, because there's a difference between people who are just like, I want to talk to you about something, and then there's people who are like, P&P changed my life. P&P changed the way I like looked at the world as a little
Yeah.
kid. Made me feel like being a weirdo is okay.
Yes.
It gave me the
Like-
courage to LARP.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, even
Ooh,
some people.
maybe that was a bad thing, but
Yeah, well,
Just
LARPer's
kidding.
gonna LARP.
LARP is going,
like, right?
Yeah, they're
LARPer's gonna LARP.
They're
Well,
going
it was when you look back now, it's like, damn, there's no shows like that are just capture the spirit of being a kid in a non-condescending way as those 90s Nickelodeon shows did,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No,
Wow,
that's a
thank
Like, you
good-
can't do
that's
that on
it.
television was like, I mean, I would watch
on.
that now and be
Would
like,
you ever
"Jesus
really?
sure.
Would you ever really eat at a place called Barf Burger?
Yes.
I kind of would too.
Yeah, I would.
Desperately. I would.
I love how cynical you are.
Oh
It's really great.
it's intense.
And it's a good duo. You guys are a good duo.
Thank you.
huh? Little cynic right here.
Sometimes.
For the
My
listener,
little
they are
cynic.
grasping each other.
Mike's blushing.
Yeah, that too.
Usually,
You got a boner right now?
How'd you
did,
meet?
yeah, he
How'd you
just
meet
got one.
Dan?
How did we meet? I was thinking about that. Someone introduced us.
We met.
Jonesy?
I did a show in Long Island City.
Oh, at the stand.
At the stand.
Did I approach you?
Or it's called something else, like the Laughing Devil or the
It
Devil
was.
something. Is that right?
I don't know.
There's like
too many places.
There's so many of those little teeny
Not
places
Kill
right
Devil-
in Long Island
Kill
City
Devil
right
Hill?
there. No, that's a nice.
That's a place?
Way to bring it back to North Carolina.
Hey, call back.
Yeah.
So you guys
But yeah,
met
we
at a
met
thing.
at a show.
Oh, so I just went up to you. That sounds like very me.
Yep. And
Yeah.
That's also where I met that guy, Miguel Dalmau. Right?
Oh, I
think that
love
was
Miguel.
that same night. He's a funny dude.
He's so funny, and I love him a lot. And he has a baby, and he's great.
He's a good
He's a
dude.
dad then.
Yeah, he's a dad. Well, he was a dad, and then he had another baby with a girl. We interviewed them because they met at a strip club, and because she was a stripper, and then they like fell in love and had this great romance. She was told she could never have kids, and now they have a baby.
Oh wow.
Kind of cool.
And then they told her
Didn't
she
know
could
the
never
full
go back to the
backstory.
strip club.
And she didn't.
God bless them.
But if she wanted to, then that's okay because that's her
okay,
choice.
She can
whatever
too,
wants
yes.
to do.
That is true.
Exactly. Exactly right. Well,
Feminism.
do you frequent those
Yeah.
those Queens clubs anymore?
I've not. I don't think I've ever been to one in Queens. I've been to
Scandals? No, Scandals.
Sandals.
If it was
Is
called
Jamaican.
Sandals,
Sandals.
that's a resort.
That's right. I know. Sorry.
If it was called Hedonism 2, would you go to the strip club?
Have you guys go to strip clubs?
I've been a few times.
I can't
I don't go there on the regular.
I can't say that I've been in the last
I used to.
10 years. I don't know.
Well, I dated a stripper for a little while, and I also
Not
used to
bragging.
work-
Look, he just shined
I'm
his
just saying.
fingernails.
Wow.
I'm just saying, there ain't
Shannon.
no big deal.
For the listener,
Who
he was
cares?
shining his fingernails
Oh,
as
Fuck
he
yeah,
did it.
dude. I would.
Who doesn't give a shit? But I had a weekly jazz gig across the street from VIP on 20th and 5th, and so
amazing.
I spent a decent amount of time there in like a 3-month period.
Nice.
Where I
Paycheck,
met
a
that
decent amount of
girl. Where I met
paycheck.
that- where I met
Have you
that girl.
ever gotten a lap dance? Did you get a lap dance there?
Yeah.
Or you just okay? And would you go by yourself?
No. It was.
Okay. I was like, wow, brave.
No. The thing was, we get paid $300 in cash. It was a trio, so each one of us got $100. We got dinner because it was an Italian restaurant.
So
And
you
then-
blow your money that night.
Well, no. We get
Right to the strip, right
Well,
to the lap
yeah,
dance.
pretty much.
hey, that's
You know what?
supporting women. So I'm
pretty much, but we would also get these like discount tickets to that the owner of the restaurant would
Discount?
give us. It would be like $20 or $40, like funny money,
To spend where?
because that's the deal.
so
like,
only spend at the strip club.
yeah, because it's funny money they have there. So when you take $100 out of the ATM, they charge you 120. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's
So
one.
then
There's
it's called,
one.
and you don't get your ATM doesn't come out with real money. It comes out with this funny money.
Wait, I
that's
went to
like
that one.
VIP cash.
That's on 20th and 5th.
Yeah,
and you're there
20th and
on Flatiron.
5th. Yeah.
That's one of the only ones I like in Manhattan.
It's actually
and
a
I
very,
went with my
it's a
friend
very
Karen.
good strip club.
And I looked one day, and Karen had stopped drinking, and I don't know if she was drinking or
Karen
what.
was like, they stole my money.
No, but she was on. I look and she's on stage. I'm like, Karen, get the fuck off stage. And the DJ guy was like, can somebody get her off stage? And then she like flashed everybody. And then the DJ was like, oh, it's okay. She could stay on stage. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. And the guy like dragged her off stage. And she's like, but I was performing.
Oh,
It's really
man.
funny. I love that place a lot, actually.
Funny
It's a
money.
good-
If you don't work
It's a
there,
good
can you
place.
still cash in the crazy bucks? What are they? VIP bucks?
Daddy dollars.
No, the
Daddy
the
dollars?
funny VIP funny money.
Joe Firestone tells a great story about
love her.
about working for she got her allowance, but she didn't get it in American money. She got it in daddy dollars, and I'll
man,
direct to the
wrong.
listener. I'll direct the listener to take it from there.
She's an incredible comic.
yeah,
she's
it's a
Her
hell
and
of a
Aparna. Do you know Aparna?
It's a hell of a story.
Damn, those two ladies are
Kraken.
fucking amazing.
Cracking.
They are
cracking. Once I ran into a high school friend at a strip club in like 30 miles, maybe not even, maybe 20 miles from where we grew up. So it was automatically like, you should know better if you don't want people that you grew up with
You know you're
to
going to run into
possibly
someone.
run into you, right?
Wait, is there an agreed upon radius? What's the radius?
No,
has to
honestly.
What is the radius?
You know the Club Pumps in Brooklyn?
Oh, I know the Club
love
Pumps.
that
I
one.
know
That's
the
the
Club
one that I
Pumps.
really like. The last time I went in there a couple times ago, I go in and I just hear, Krystyna? Hey! And it was a friend I went to Marymount Manhattan with.
A Catholic. Good.
No, we're not. They used to be Catholic, but she was a dance major and she's fucking good at stripping. Like she takes it seriously, not that other people don't, but she really has some moves that I'm like, that's very impressive.
That's
She'd
a weird
climb
trend.
up to the wall on the pole.
Really?
And just like slam her heels down. And I'm like, ugh.
For me, every move is impressive because I probably wouldn't be able to do 95% of them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except for like if she's doing the
Nobody does the lasso
no one does
Yeah,
the
no one
lasso
does
over
anymore.
that.
For the
listener, Danny is
That's
doing
been
the
a little
lasso.
while. It has
Unless it's a
been-
themed one. I went to one in Nashville.
Unless it's a themed one.
Yeah.
The demolition
like
Are they
derby or
really
rodeo.
rodeo
Texas.
themed.
Yeah.
I've been to a few, like one in Nashville that these chicks, like they climb up the pole like Spider-Man and then they just fall down, but in a way that they mean to.
A
It's not an
sexy,
accident.
deliberate way.
Oh my God. And they slam their heels on the ground. I'm like, God damn, you have my attention.
I think we should integrate. You should go to the next level, and those like portable skydiving tunnels.
Yes, I've been. Yeah,
I think
I've
we
done
need-
indoor skydiving.
I think
before.
we need to have
Throw
them
some strippers in there?
naked.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just my $1 billion idea for this episode.
That's not bad. That's two, I think.
Well, I'm at a $2 billion idea.
Wow.
A rate clip. Yeah. So everyone else
You
needs to
should
keep
invest
up.
in Bitcoin now.
Shit scares me.
I almost made Mike a stripper in Austin, not because he was swimming in a pool, a hotel pool with no
Naked.
bathing suit.
I
No,
packed-
he wore his boxers.
What color were they?
Yellow.
Not see-through. No, they weren't beige
Close, though.
balls. They weren't beige balls.
Look,
Yeah, it's
Christina's
true.
face says it all because there were moments too when you were just like,
Is he wearing-
legs are like, flapping in the water. And you
Flapping.
can see people staring at
Did your
your
balls
nuts.
pop out?
I didn't see any
Did your
people
nuts pop
staring.
out?
No,
But
no
he,
mats.
That's
he,
just so
he got
weird.
out of the water.
Thank you.
He got out of the water with a towel on, and I threatened that he had to put $3,000 in my checking account, or I was going to pull the.
Each time the
Pull the
figure goes
towel.
up. First time it was 1,500.
Wow.
It
Yeah, so
always
don't do it
goes
again,
up.
or it'll be
It'll be
10,000.
10,000. Yeah. Makes
So
a good story.
I ran away. Basically, I didn't pack enough clothing for that weekend, so I had to fly in those boxers right after I got out of the pool. So I took them off, put my towel on, and spread the boxers out flat on the pavers by the swimming pool to dry out by the sun.
In
That's a
Italiano, there's a
beautiful story.
in Italian there's a word for that, and it's schifo, which means
For
gross.
for
Gross.
drying your
Gross.
boxers in the sun
Okay, schifo.
by a pool.
Che schifo.
It means you got
Just means it's gross.
You got schivats by that. You get grossed out.
Sounds Russian.
Yeah. Well,
Everything,
close. They're
everything,
not-
What are you gonna do?
everything
that
sounds
close, but,
Russian
you know.
these days.
wow.
Whoa.
I'm going to change the subject back to underwear. No, I feel like regardless of what you're swimming, like if you're swimming in boxers, it's still basically you're swimming in a swimsuit. Like it's basically about other people's comfort.
For
around
guys,
you,
that's
right?
different.
There's
Swimsuits aren't
difference.
as tight unless you're wearing a Speedo.
Right.
For girls, yes, that would be correct. For guys,
Yeah,
nah.
it's different.
There's,
It
there's
clings to you.
degrees. There's
Look,
degrees.
You
I
can
wear-
basically tell what you got going on
He
if you wear
wears
boxers.
boxers that may or may not have a button for the fly.
Oh, that's
and
where
I wear boxer briefs, and they're all
Isn't it
you
just a
gotta
slit?
like pull. Yeah, you gotta pull aside.
I wear boxer briefs. This is just one pair of boxers that I brought with me that I was probably gonna just.
And it's all you ever
have.
wear.
Wow, was there?
that
I
same
wasn't boxer shaming you.
I have
Jesus,
been, I've been
God.
shamed. I've been shamed. It's amazing how the pendulum has swung from the 90s and boxers and the Gap, and now in the 2000s it was briefs, and now we're back in whatever it is, underwear town.
I smell a think piece.
Hot takes. Hot takes time.
now they have
on the
those-
next GQ magazine online because they won't put
I'd read
that.
it.
They won't put that shit in print.
We can't print it anymore. Print is dead.
The worst is when you're like, "Oh, Mom, I wrote something in Vogue," and they're like, "Great, give me the magazine." Like, it's online, but like, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, your parents and aunts and uncles ruin that for you when you get something published.
You
You're
have
like,
a
it's
back-
online. That's pretty cool.
And they're like, "Wait, so it's like not in the magazine?" Well, no, but
No.
like,
You have a back problem. You're not going to be able to
it takes
pick
a
up
lot
the
to
Vogue
get it
anyway.
in the magazine.
The Vogue is like this big.
Yeah, Vogue's
the
big.
September issue is, but all the other ones are normal.
Why is the September issue bigger than the
Because
others?
that's
Did you see the
fashion.
documentary?
No, I missed it.
Apparently, that's when the fashion forecasts, most of them get made.
When
so
we
that
go back to school.
yeah, because the kids need to fucking look like hot people and not like ugly trolls. So you want the September
right.
issue to tell
Because we
you,
need to keep making babies. So
Right.
you know that's
Babies
like the
making
underlying thing. We can't have
babies.
the kids looking ugly because then they don't want to fuck each other. If they don't fuck each other, they won't have kids. If they don't have kids, then you know the whole country's going down.
you should, yeah.
Holy
president.
cheese! Thank you.
That's
I
part
would
of the
just feel
episode.
more
So
comfortable.
much.
You should
Thank you.
not be president.
Why? Just because I smoked a lot of weed?
You could be you could be secretary of keeping it real.
Yeah. I feel like in Trump's presidency there is that guy,
Yeah, but it's the
and it's
complete opposite of.
Keeping
John
it
Kelly.
fake.
It's Major
Keeping it
Dad.
it is Major
yeah.
Dad.
Major Dad is like the fun activity supervisor. He's like, oh, let's go have fun. We're gonna have fun for the next 25 minutes.
You know those movies where it's like the president's daughter gets kidnapped or whatever, like the Disney movie, or they should make one that's like, my dad is President Trump, and then just make it like a teen rom-com about having a dad who sucks.
Right.
I mean,
ruining a country.
Well,
Sneaking out.
what's his daughter's name? That's not
Ivanka?
No. The one,
Tiffany.
There needs to be
Dude.
a show about
Dude.
Tiffany, and like it could be an awesome show. She's like, she doesn't really care what her dad's doing, but then her friends have to really like
Remind
inform
her,
her.
yeah.
and
But
let
her
in.
dad cares about her less than she cares about her dad, which is
Yes.
kind of funny.
That's the only way. That's the only way he can win.
But that's the only instance in which the absence of a father's love is actually more beneficial to you. You know what I
It's
mean?
a win. It's a win-win.
It's like
for
I'm
her.
glad I'm the
Yeah.
one that everyone hates because
right.
fuck you guys anyway.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'm the least mentioned with Venom because I'm the least mentioned.
my Amex black card never gets declined though. I'm saying that's what she was.
Oh, that's what Tiff- I was
that's the
you
one
got
little bit.
Amex-
That's why she has to send Christmas cards. She has to send a birthday card. She,
Her-
just a little bit,
Checks in.
When
like,
she spoke
hey,
at the convention,
I heard this was your dad's birthday. So happy birthday, Grandpa. I know you loved him so much.
when she spoke at the convention, I was like, oh, please keep talking forever. My dad drives really hard.
I could always
Ooh.
listen to you talking, Tiffany.
Well,
She should narrate. She should do like erotica.
Audiobooks.
Yeah, exactly. Narrate an erotica audiobook. I would buy
a good way
it
to piss off your
and
daddy.
smoke weed to it.
Why was I watching Good Morning America? One of those shows. And,
You couldn't sleep.
And the Bush
your favorite
daughter,
show?
the Bush daughter is on there. George Bush.
Which one?
Jenna.
What's the other one?
James. I don't know.
That's a boy's name.
I think it's Babs.
Wait,
yeah, but it could be
Babs?
Jaymes.
I think it's Babra.
Gemma's.
Gemma's.
I'm
Gemma.
Jana.
Gemma.
No, it's yeah. It's Jenna. And,
Jenna.
It's Jenna and Barbara.
No.
You haven't
derailed.
used any fact checks yet.
Isn't one of
go
them?
with it.
Wasn't there like a nip slip during a dance? One of them danced with
Was there a Bush nip
George
slip?
Bush. Yeah.
No, there couldn't have
I
been a
thought
Bush.
there was.
There couldn't have been a Bush nip slip because we all would have invented another phrase for it because their last name was Bush, but it was a nip slip. There would have been
That's
a cool.
funny. Yeah,
no, there would have been
there's
a cool
an opportunity
phrase
there for a
that-
meme or something.
and it didn't happen. Otherwise, we would have invented that.
I swear it was a father-daughter dance and someone had a titty pop out on accident.
Oh man, it probably was George W. He was just dancing like a maniac,
Yeah.
Guy's
And
in good shape. He doesn't know
didn't know how to.
boobies.
We could all tell he didn't really know how to button his own shirt.
I know,
And
it's
maybe
kinda funny.
and maybe
just
he missed.
painting.
Maybe missed a. I know.
I think he would have
love that.
drowned.
I love all the bad things that
He's
that
such a
happened under
shitty
his
painter,
watch.
too.
That he how he feels better about himself in life is to paint pictures of people.
He
that
probably
put
would have drowned in
harm's way.
Australia. Just going
Real
to
great.
watching the toilet go the other way.
He's just so excited that his image isn't.
Yeah.
He's no longer like the worst one.
Superimposed with the
yeah.
devil and Hitler.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep painting.
Yeah.
here. And I'm going to do the people that buy my paintings. I'm going to donate the money. That's
He's
real
doing that?
I don't know.
Oh, I was like, no way.
No,
They need
I
all
bet
them
he does. I bet he does do that, and then
To like
that makes him feel extra special.
an anti-choice organization or some shit. I don't know.
Just Goodwill right down the street. They all go to Goodwill sooner or later. All the Bushes.
He didn't realize he got a discount on all the paint
So
because it still
dark.
had lead in it from the 70s.
That's why he's so stupid. And all that cocaine he did at Harvard.
That as well.
Yeah, but Harvard cocaine is probably pretty good cocaine.
I guess. I've
the
done
elect.
cocaine like 4 times in my life. It sucked every time. I'm like, why is this everyone's favorite drug?
Good call.
It's not. It's not a good drug.
Good call. Fuck cocaine.
But
The
everyone
brands we
loves
hate.
it.
Brands we hate. Cocaine.
Yeah,
You know what? I know.
Didn't
a few
Tom
people
Waits
that
have a
still
song called
really
Cocaine
like
or
it.
no?
That's Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
And she don't
Oh,
like.
it is
she
Eric.
don't mind.
Yeah.
She don't mind cocaine.
Yeah.
Wow, why did I get those confused? Eric Clapton and Tom Waits.
I mean, you know.
no, he had the song. He had the song called
Because they
Codeine,
both have
right?
songs you can go. If I saw you in heaven.
There's that cholesterol gurgle coming out again.
I'm just saying that's Tom Waits singing "Tears in Heaven," guys. That's all I was getting at.
I think it's either Daniel Tosh or Anthony Jeselnik has the most hilarious stand-up bit about Eric Clapton's dead kid.
I think it's Jeselnik.
It is Jeselnik,
Yeah.
it's real funny.
Yeah, he goes.
I bet it's good.
He goes certain places.
Don't
I like.
don't go there.
I like Mr. Show making fun of Eric Clapton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Show could do that.
And the Teardrop Award.
You and Nick and Tyler,
Me and Nick and
Tyler,
Yes.
were the Baker Ginger trio. That's what I figured.
Oh,
You're not
Baker Ginger Trio.
Yeah, you're not the Ginger Baker trio of the musical Redheads. You were the. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded better inside my head before I said it out
Yeah,
loud.
and it's like an out of context too. It makes it really great.
So
Speaking of segues, Paul Blart Mall Cop, shitty movie. Go.
Agreed. Hey.
See that? I like
I'm
that.
still on the fence.
Cheers.
Chin chin.
You still waiting? You still waiting?
I
on
don't,
that
I don't
one,
think
huh?
I've ever seen that movie. To
Let me be the tiebreaker, Jeremy.
He's on a Segway. Speaking of Segways.
Yeah, that was.
Do
what-
you know that the president of the Segway company died because he drove a Segway off the cliff?
No.
Yes, that is. I feel like that's
It's
true.
the funniest death story I've ever
Yeah.
heard.
You're
Just
gonna
like
go.
I heard that Dr. Atkins died from.
Yes, from
you
the
know,
fucking cholesterol shit
Yeah,
or heart attack or something.
And you know what happened to Newton? A fucking
ate so
apple.
many fig Newtons
An
that he
apple fell
died.
on his head and it cracked his head open, and,
And
it was
then,
like.
and then if we want to go back to talking about great comedians and their stand-up bits, Dennis Leary saying, talking about smoking.
Yeah.
And 2 words, Jim Fix, huh? He did a book about running, a video about running, and did about jogging, and he died when he was fucking jogging. That's when. It's like, what a bunch of smokers found him and like, oh, look at that Jim Fix. Oh, shit, let's go smoke some butts. Sorry,
That was
taking us
pretty
back.
good.
That's
You're taking us back
ingrained
to the
in my
90s.
brain.
That
That's
sound clip should
ingrained
be
in my
isolated.
brain
Well,
forever.
we want to do a soundboard, and that's definitely going to go on there.
Just
at
the yum,
at
yum,
very
yum,
least
yum.
the last part. Yeah.
I love to smoke.
Also cholesterol.
Yeah,
Do you smoke cigarettes?
Oh no, I'm a former, so the worst. Like, the worst person.
Are you
right?
judging?
And I don't
I
smoke cigarettes.
You don't?
No.
I thought you did.
No.
Oh, what
That's
the
what
fuck?
everybody says that.
Probably
No.
you guys were
They
having a
think
drink
that I-
together, and he pulled out a butt, so you saw him smoking.
I
so
didn't
maybe
know.
you guys
I say
smoke.
that. Well, I
No,
would
not a-
casually
not a judgy,
smoke if
no.
I was out at a bar, like, and talking to a lady, and she wanted to go out and smoke a butt. She said, I'm gonna go smoke a butt. You all?
You call them butts, huh?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I would go outside with any lady who called it a butt.
Yeah, I've never even heard it. I've never.
Really? Smoking butts?
Butts to me are the things you throw away after you're done with your cigarettes. So
Right.
that you can't smoke them.
I'm gonna
really.
smoke
Maybe
a
that's
cigarette
just a
until it
weird.
becomes
Maybe
a butt,
that's a
and then I'm
weird
gonna get rid
Jersey
of it.
thing. I don't know.
I see
call it
homeless
smoking a
people
butt.
smoking butts, literally smoking cigarette butts.
That
but-
was young
Well,
Danny
okay.
picking him up off the street.
Aw.
I definitely did that.
If you think about it, though, that's what you're smoking is the butt of a cigarette.
It's like I'm on Molly,
Time
but
to
I'm
break
not.
out the ball.
I think we changed collars for that one.
For the listener,
room.
yeah, check out the Big Brain on Brad.
That's right.
That's a good one.
For the listener,
That's
That'd be
really
the best
funny.
one of the day.
Check out the brains on Brad.
I don't know.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
It's just
I wish someone would say that about a woman.
Check out the big
On Bernice.
brains on Bernice.
No one's ever said that.
I'm gonna
I say
do
that to
that.
Baby
my. I say
Madame
that to my
Curie.
fiance all the time.
Check out the big brains on you.
Yeah. Whenever she says something smart,
Which is often.
which is often. Yeah.
She's a writer.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What kind of writing? Like what genre?
She's a
TV film?
YA author. Young adult.
Oh, I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, she writes mostly Norwegian children's books.
Really?
About
No,
trolls.
But she said yeah, and that's made me think of Norwegians.
Same.
You know, what can
They're
you do?
all very attractive.
What
people, I
can
feel
you
like.
do? No, she's
God, I
from
love
Pennsylvania
Norway.
though.
I love Norway so much.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
everyone hot there?
It's annoying.
Jim Jeffries has a show on Comedy Central, and the pilot episode, he did this bit about how it might have been Switzerland or Norway, one of those countries where everyone's hot, and they talking about the old practices of they used to sterilize people with physical abnormalities and just mentally retarded and all this stuff. And then at the end, he's like, but it kind of worked, didn't it? Because look at how hot they are. And I was like, that's a good point. They are all hot because the uglies got sterilized.
Yeah,
not a nice thing to do.
Did they do that in Australia? Because it seems like a lot like I've seen a
few ugly Australians.
But we just see the attractive Australians here. Like
I've seen the ugly
there's
ones.
a filter that stops them somewhere.
I've seen a couple
Maybe.
ugly Aussies.
Well, they're all,
Not too
there was
many.
an island of prisoners.
Are you talking about
so-
Chappie?
Chappie?
You talk about Chappie?
No.
No, but that's what I mean, that they would have had time to experiment and sort of like,
True.
stop
That's
people
true,
from
actually.
reproducing and marrying and stuff.
It would. I feel like that could have happened and then gone under the radar.
Would any of us not be here today if our ancestors had to be sterilized?
No, that's math.
Right?
That's like logic, though.
What is the question? Yeah.
If any of my ancestors were
Didn't-
sterilized,
if
that
they
means they
didn't
couldn't
bone,
reproduce.
yeah.
So
Now, I
that
really
the
thought I was
easiest-
going
That was
somewhere.
the easiest question I've ever been asked in my life.
Fucking idiot.
Now for a question that doesn't have an immediate answer.
You pass. Congratulations.
If my mom and dad got their junk cut off, would I be here?
Would I still be here?
No.
Well,
Look, I didn't pass
Depends
health
on the
class,
decade.
okay? Sorry.
You took health class twice?
can you still get?
You just wanted to
I
watch
did.
the video.
I just wanted to watch the
You wanted to
birthing
watch
video.
the
Oh,
miracle,
the birth?
miracle
Yeah.
of life. The miracle. It's called the miracle of life.
Yeah,
We've
I
watched the
just
video
talked
several
about
times.
that earlier today, Miracle of Life, and I wanted to see if it was on YouTube.
Were you
but
at
I didn't-
brunch or at
No,
the, at
no.
the
We were
doctor's
writing a
office?
show treatment. We were
Oh.
writing a show treatment.
Oh,
Like
wow.
let's just go to a fucking place and just see it. And then, but it is a scare tactic. Or were you guys turned on? It sounded like maybe you had a different reaction than I did.
I don't think I was turned on.
My wife is a doula.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So she's seen that documentary, Business of Being Born.
Yeah.
That like
she
changed
totally
my
has.
perspective on birth.
Oh, she has like 10 DVDs, and that's one of them. Not a big DVD person.
That's good though because
But you
they're really
nailed
a thing of a
10% of
past.
it.
That's saying there's a lot of room for mine, but yeah,
You have a lot of DVDs.
not too many. Not too many. They're mostly a Pete and Pete. No, they didn't. DVD
That's
didn't
okay.
exist. Trick question. It was in the era of VHS.
I was gonna say I had the bright orange fucking tapes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The
Very
back,
cool.
back to school.
the
school
puffy
days.
box. I love the puffy movie box.
Oh,
VHS boxes.
those are great boxes.
Yeah,
They mess up all my bookshelf. Wait, am I really talking about this?
yeah, but because those are now like
You
relics and antiques.
I guess they are collector's items now.
They
yeah.
are. And they're cool. I like Puffy Box. My old friend wrote her college thesis or something called Puffy Box Disney movies. And it was so beautiful.
It was a one-woman show and a performance piece, and it was
Mm-hmm.
called Puffy Box Disney Movies.
Yeah, and she came out. And she
Nude.
stood there for like an hour. And we were like, do I get it yet?
And then
And
we're
then-
like, yeah.
Then you felt stupid if you didn't get it. Just kidding.
So then you
That's
walk out and everybody's like, oh, man, it was great.
Exactly.
So good.
It's one of those that are so arty, you're like, but I saw the meaning in it. But you didn't.
No, you didn't see.
'Cause there
You didn't
was
see
none.
Shit.
Jeremy, what's wrong?
Well, I was thinking about something earlier. Said the whatever the version for a woman would be. What was that? That was the
Big brain
Slut?
on Brad. The big brain on
the
Brad.
big brain on Brad. What's the equivalent? But I couldn't figure it out. But the only thing I've been thinking a lot of. Danny and I write, and
Check out the big brain on Brangelina.
there you go.
They're
Past tense.
R.I.P. I mean, that's not...
The basically, I was just thinking of like it's very like it's hard to write a woman's character now. Like we struggle with this to like
For you guys.
yeah, because we write things that
leave
have
me
a
out.
world, but like I don't know what the opposite version of that is. You
Well,
know?
like, do you ever watch Insecure? Issa Rae. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of writers on there, but she actually writes amazing male characters. And but there's some shows that kind of get it. But I mean, you're not chicks, so I guess it makes sense that it's more difficult. It would be harder for
But
me
we
to write a
want to
male
be
character.
writers, so we should be good at doing
True,
it.
true.
So,
But you have to have a diverse writers' room, apparently.
no,
Just,
No.
This is not it.
Just you guys.
you're in it.
Yeah.
This is
And
diverse for
I
redheads.
usually sit there. That's my writing side right there.
Okay,
You're messing up his ass groove right
Still here.
now.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I'm still.
You'll bounce back.
I'm gonna try.
I love writing scripts and stuff. But when I get to a male character, I'm like, oh shit, I guess.
Do you
I
have
don't know.
somebody do you have like a friend that you have conversations with about that, or you
A male friend?
that you can bounce ideas off of, or just like,
I mean, my comedy
conversations?
partner, but I use my boyfriend as a litmus test for any dude stuff.
Like he's the guy test for would a guy say this or would a
Yeah.
Does it
yeah.
sound
And
like-
he's like a pervy person. And he's like obsessed with like sex and women and like hot people and stuff, but he's also like really nice and kind.
Is he Australian?
No. He's Dutch, or well, Pennsylvania Dutch. It's different.
Ah.
He's
Shady
just
Maples,
white as
eh?
fuck.
Yeah, that's
Basically.
my fiance is a PA Dutch too.
Oh, really? Where is she from?
Deer Hunter?
Outside of Quakertown.
They're from Deer Hunter.
I used to go to the Quakertown flea market all the time. I love Quakertown.
Yeah.
Ever been to Shady Maples?
That's Lancaster.
That's where my boyfriend's from, Lancaster, Reading area. He had an Amish nanny.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Okay.
And they used to
Amish
eat like
nanny.
cow tongue and just buttery, potatoey
Yeah.
shit.
That's
actually
okay.
sounds good.
Oh, it sounds
Buttery,
great.
buttery potatoes and shit. That's right up my alley.
We can go have those in Greenpoint.
Yeah.
Peasant
Yeah.
style potatoes. What is it?
But you pay like a lot more for it. Probably
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
probably.
Well, if you
And
get you can get
attitude,
pierogies cheap.
Oh, fucking, what's that Lower East Side pierogi place that's 24 hours? Veselka.
There's a
Oh yeah.
24.
Yeah. That's also good.
Great pierogies.
I've been in there very.
I didn't know
late
that
at
that
night.
was a Ukrainian food. Apparently.
Is it?
Oh,
pierogies
shit.
are
I think it's-
inherently Ukrainian.
I mean, it's a Ukrainian place, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And they say stuff like paroshki too.
Oh, yeah. And the ladies, all the waitresses are like older ladies that are just not impressed by anybody.
yeah.
It's the best kind of waiters and waitresses.
Yeah,
It
there
is,
were-
but I react very nervously to those types of people. 'Cause I'm
Like,
like,
why don't you- why
do
don't
I
you
have
like
to
me?
entertain you?
Yeah, why don't you like me? Why
Yeah.
aren't I? Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I need to
we're
be loved.
well, we sort of we're spoiled because we get on the other end of that, which is when people who are in the service industry who also do something else for a living, which is like I'll be your dining experience for tonight, and I'm Christina. We got a couple of those when we were in LA.
I tried to be a waitress and I sucked so bad. At
Oh
it. I was
God,
like,
that's something I
"No."
never ever tried to be.
Well, yeah, because you were fucking working since you were young. You didn't have to be a waiter.
No,
Hey,
I've-
I worked at a bagel store when
Yeah.
I was on TV. Thank
worked-
you very
Really?
much.
Yeah, I've worked as a bike messenger. I've worked as a bus
That sounds
boy.
like a fun job.
It was fun. I got hit by a car first day. First day in the rain.
Sucked at being a bike messenger.
What are you talking about? I got
How
better.
old were you?
And
I
he
got
got,
bet-
his,
I got
and he got his
better.
bike stolen.
Wow. Hey, can I tell my story? Yeah, I was
This is
18.
his experience.
I was
Like,
18.
Oh man,
Living in Lower East Side. Yeah, freezing to
Oh,
death.
you grew up in New York?
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah, it was
that's
fun.
got to be crazy. People, when I hear that people like grew up here, I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, I would never go to school.
It was like that movie Escape from New York.
It's funny. She said you'd never go to school. He didn't graduate college either.
I never
neither.
went to school.
Any school.
No, I'm like,
Ever?
could you spoil all my stories?
Dude, I'm just.
This
I'm
guy's
just
like,
making,
this guy.
I'm just giving you
Sorry.
context.
He's like, I worked in a bagel store. Yeah, and you were fat too. Like,
Your
what is
dumbass
this?
got hit by a car the
Yeah.
first day.
Yeah. Like you could never be a bike messenger, and you're cross-eyed.
No,
Did you
we're just
flip over a
we're
car
just
door or
experiencing
anything?
all
No,
of the things you experienced.
I got
Michael.
knocked out of the street onto the sidewalk, and I wasn't wearing my helmet. My helmet was just hanging off my bag at the time.
Shoes.
Ooh,
Picked
what
myself
injuries?
up, picked myself up, and made my delivery, and that was like my
That
last
didn't-
one of the day.
My boyfriend's dad got hit by a car, but now he's in a wheelchair, so he wasn't so lucky.
Yikes.
So thanks for bringing. No,
Did he make the delivery or no?
No, he didn't. But he was on his way to this restaurant in Pennsylvania, and Steven's mom was like, "Okay, I'll take the kids, and you'll bike and meet us," because he was very athletic.
Oh no!
Yeah. But he's so funny about when people ask about his injury. He has a dark sense of humor. So he's like, yeah, I got hit by that car, but you know what's crazy? I still love that fried chicken. I still go to that restaurant because he was on his way to this fried chicken. I was like, oh man, that's fucking hilarious, Mr. Penta.
It's dedication.
Yeah, I love dark senses of humor. You gotta have one.
yeah.
Agreed.
It's required to live in New York City. I think you develop one the longer
Especially-
you live here.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why do you
yeah.
think he's drenched with being cynical?
Well, what
That's gotta be a New
explains
York thing.
Well, what explains
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan?
His
Very
wife,
few
Jeannie,
things.
What about
she writes a lot of his material with him.
I gotcha. So she must be very optimistic. But she's a native New Yorker, isn't she?
I think so. They're pretty cool. I mean, I think with Jim, he like when he started out with stand up, he like was, it took him a second to figure out like, oh, okay, this is my voice and stuff.
my
And I
thing.
think he was cursing and talking about shit, but he veered the other way because that's just what worked. But he's like, I don't care. I wasn't like, I'm going to be a clean comic. It just so happened that that worked best for him, and then that's fucking he blew up. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's great.
Do you know anybody who worked on the show?
Do I know?
Yeah, who worked on the Gaffigan show?
No, I don't.
No, but
I'm sure there.
I do.
Did you work on it?
I did not. No,
Did you
I know
know
people,
anybody?
but I know that I just saw him
writers.
pop up in the new Super Troopers. He's going to revise his role as
Really?
as the guy the meow guy, the first meow guy.
That's awesome.
He was the guy that they meowed?
Yeah.
He was
Is
the
it
guy
Gaffigan?
that they pulled over?
Yeah, it's Gaffigan.
Is that show still on? Gaffigan show?
I think they did one season or they did 2 seasons.
I think they did too.
I think they did 2 seasons.
And that's it, or?
I think that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Nick at Night, was it? Or TV Land?
It was
TV Land,
TV
and now
Land.
it's called something else, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's called
Paramount.
Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS Family, I think.
Wow.
They all got it. They all got it.
There's so much fucking content. There's so many networks. There's so many. It's like,
We should each have shows.
people have too much. These places have too much money, and they're like, we gotta make something, and then they don't put thought into it. So it's like, oh man, they're just drowning in content. But there's a lot of great content.
There
There's a
is,
lot of
but you
shit,
also get
too.
you get a lot of like flip this house shows. There's like 500.
Yeah.
There's 500 of those.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
all the same show. It's just like I
Who
bought a
gives
house.
a shit?
Yeah.
I find that to be the most troubling when I go into pitch meetings and they're like, all right, but we like all this scripted stuff that you have, but
Well, what about-
how about the unscripted
what
stuff?
about
How
flip-
about that reality
what about
stuff?
flip
I'm like,
my- flip my
damn
house?
it.
God, I'm sure. I mean, I know you guys fucking know this world. I didn't know this world until a couple years ago. But when you go in a pitch, they all want reality.
Yeah.
and you're like, no,
No.
Scripted.
And then you come in and the kiss assness and but when you finally meet somebody who like doesn't kiss your ass and gets it, you're like, will you marry me? You're so rare.
it feels so different.
You're so rare.
We got a fucking Crit and I had I guess I could talk about this. Lifetime offered us a talk show, and we were like,
Very cool.
okay,
Kinda dope.
is this a trap? And then
Is it sponsored by Enfamil?
No, I don't. It would have been. We don't have it anymore. All we did was have a general with them. That's it. And then our agent calls us and was like, they want straight to series. And we're like, what? And even our agent was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
this doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't make sense, but whatever. And like the rate was insane.
The
And
agent texted the shrugging emoji too. She's like, I don't know, guys.
Yeah,
Let's take the
exactly.
money.
But it was the one that you have to make with the dashes.
Yeah, with the dash. You know the one.
Yeah.
And we were all our whole team was like, this is weird, but whatever.
The money, everything.
Yeah, all of it was like too good to be true, but also like, wait a second. And then I was like, can we make fun of you? Because they wanted to rebrand. And we're like, can we make fun of you
Of
respectfully? Because
Lifetime
that's how you win respect.
women's television.
Yes,
right.
because when I think of Lifetime, I think of some chick getting thrown down the stairs, and then she goes to school and she's like, I just fell, and that's the whole fucking network to me. Yeah. And but if you want to win people over, I think you make fun of that in a way that's smart.
Self-deprecating.
Exactly. And they don't ever do that. So. And they've had like the fucking Lifetime movie with Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell. And
Yeah, that was the
fucking-
closest thing. Well, but they weren't shitting on their own.
But they
network.
weren't. I know, and I thought that
It was
they
kind
were.
of a good move. It wasn't bad.
It
was pure Ferrell.
But they need that
Yeah.
humor about themselves. And then it was just a weird experience where they didn't tell us what they wanted, and then we like went into this meeting that was supposed to be. We didn't know this, but it was supposed to be a green light meeting for like, yes, we will green light the show. I thought it was just a let's shoot the shit and toss ideas around. And I pitched an idea that was very edgy.
a little bit over the.
Yeah, well, it was a segment with this comedian that I know who I love is Mehran Kagani. He's gay. He's Iranian. So we had this. We ran it by him first, but we had this segment idea called "Ask a Muslim Faggot," and he thought it was amazing. He was so on board because he calls himself that all the time. So we were like, oh. I think this would be really funny. And then I pitched that to the lady, and she wanted to die. Like she wanted to melt away in her
Not be
chair
in the room.
and never see me again.
Oh,
and the
my
day
God.
after the election is when they were like, you know what? They gave us like a clause that we just couldn't sign it because it was like a moralities clause that was so intense that they basically forced us to quit.
You have to not have you have to have never done any shows that had the word "fucked" in the title.
But that's
Yeah,
what
but that
I'm
was-
like, why
but-
did you ask?
why
us?
did
That
Why'd
was
you
why.
call us?
But that was why they sought you out in the first place.
People want the edge and they don't want the risk.
Right.
It's so fucking infuriating
Absolutely.
because
It's
you
like-
can't censor it if
Yeah.
you're going to go
It's like,
there.
right.
Give me a sharp knife, but put a condom on it.
Right.
For God's sake.
It's so annoying.
For God's sake, you don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt
Make
yourself.
sure it's spermicidal too.
Yeah. Wow.
That shit stinks.
Non-oxynol 9 does numb certain parts of you, and
Is that the stuff that kills the sperm?
yeah, and I just like to leave it there.
I like that you know the actual name.
Thanks, Krystyna, for having us on the show, and we remain in your debt.
Oh, please. This is fun.
You got to have some cool plugs to plug now.
I have a book coming out that I co-wrote called Fucked with Corinne Fisher, my comedy partner. It's coming out October 24th. Follow me on, I guess, Twitter. That's where I have the least followers, and my manager's like, it doesn't make sense you don't have a lot of followers.
Let's beef it up.
Let's
I'm
get
sorry.
Let's get your
beef it up.
Twitter.
Krystyna Hutch. It's on all social medias. I'm that, but it's KRY.
I'm looking it up.
STYNA.
You're about to get a new follower.
Relax. We'll wait till we release this.
I'll think about it. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah,
thanks so
Is it
much for hanging out.
Hutch?
Oh, and for the record, you were right, Mike. It is Jenna and Barbara.
Babs.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Babs.
so- and
Did one of them have a nip slip?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I know they're coming out with a book it's like called From Wild to something.
From Wild to Child, which actually I got in trouble when I was doing your podcast and I talked about my fiance's run-in
Wild
with
childhood?
Wild Child, and
I think you texted me about that.
Got in trouble after. Good meeting you.
No, what happened was she listened to it while I was away in LA doing work, and then she came out to visit me.
That's never good.
And it all blew up in my face
At dinner.
What did you say
at
that was
dinner.
bad?
Nothing. She was just embarrassed that I was spouting her.
I understand that. My
Secrets.
boyfriend and I
secrets.
almost broke up over when he first listened to a podcast. Because I was like, he loves to get his butthole licked. He doesn't care. And he's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
That's nobody's business.
I was actually going to ask this. I listened to an episode where
Does your boyfriend like to get his butthole?
Yeah.
where you went to a sex den. Was that
no.
your
I went to a
co-host?
sex house
Vault?
in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Is that what it was?
The one in Toronto.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the episodes I listened to. So and there was no mention of butt licking, but there was a lot of mention of
Oh man, that was
randos.
That was the one night where we had a three-way that it was in the wild, kind of. But it was also like a fan person, and I was like, ugh.
You knew the podcast.
But she was so hot.
Okay.
So,
Makes it okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
felt a little bad, like I was
pass.
taking advantage.
Take a
but
T-shirt. I'll blast
do
you out on
people,
Twitter.
anyone ever ask you for a three-way? Both of you? With
No.
Probably not.
Really?
Not at the same time.
really disappointing.
No,
I know.
like a year apart. They'll ask him and then wait and then.
And then you'll both come together
Yeah.
and admit it and be
I'm
like, oh my god.
I'm sure there's some
You
Pete and
too?
Pete fan fiction on
Yeah.
the internet that
Oh, please no.
probably has to
Oh,
do
No,
with
there
God.
probably is.
yeah,
God,
being
no.
like it's a Pete sandwich.
Well, who wouldn't want that?
Guys, we fucked. Krystyna Hutchinson. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're quite lucky boys here.
Thank you.
Whoa.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by Jeremy Balin. The podcast is part of the Feral Audio Podcasting Collective and can be found on their website at feralaudio.com. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also, look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the and spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.
Feral Audio.